the dress, actually the prison uniform. Every prisoner means under trials in Maharashtra jail are supposed to get these towels which have blue linings on them. Therefore, many of the drawings I've used that as stuff. So this is also part of a drawing. I just was in the mood of drawing it and came out. Something like that. This is what is called a nursing orderly. He's the doctor at night. So he has this fixed combination of tablets. That's paracetamol, Avil, and a few antibiotics. So he knows. I remember once in the cell adjoining to me, there was a person who had come in a NDPS case. So he had withdrawal symptoms. So he used to scream in the night. So once this guy had come along and he gave him 2 or 3 tablets. The guy said, no, give me more. So he landed up giving him 10 tablets of various different colors. Just to keep him happy. This is how the medical system works at night. If you are sick in the night and you call a doctor, the doctor will only come probably at 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. And actually, the odd thing about jail is that there are many cases where people have died in the jail. What they do is they take the person from the jail in a van, and in the van they give him saline. So when they reach the hospital, it is shown that he has died after leaving the jail and before reaching the hospital. So it does not come into record as a death in jail. So the records are shown as if he has left the jail fit and fine, and when he has reached the hospital, he has come dead. And there's the same doctors that work in the hospital and work here, and the officers also they are keen to suppress such news. In fact, I think so Maharashtra, they've gone through records, and Maharashtra jail has the highest number of custodial deaths in jail. This is a scene of actually the Nagpur Central Prison, if you probably have seen it. That's the main gate, and this is the place where people have to come and give mulakat, that is meet prisoners. So this entire, actually it's a very odd system. That day I was speaking to my lawyer. He had to come to visit someone in jail. He came to jail around 10 o'clock in the morning. He got his visitation only at 5 o'clock in the evening. So throughout this day he has to wait in the sun. In April and May the Vidarbha heat is tremendous. This is the type of the situation that they had out there.
So how long did you spend here? In Nagpur Jail, how long did you spend?
Totally about 4 years and 8 months.
So from the start you were here?
Yeah. From the time I was arrested, about 1.5 months in police custody, and the rest of the time in the jail.
And so how many times were you acquitted and then rearrested?
That's the thing they don't do. They wait for you and release you after all the cases, and that's the time they come and rearrest you. That's the problem. Like we keep saying that if you put all those cases in the initial period on us, we have no problem. Because being in jail for one case and being in jail for 20 cases wouldn't make much of a difference.
When you were rearrested the last time, from outside the jail, was it from somewhere here?
It was in this part. Yeah, just at the side of it, there's a wicket gate. It's a smaller gate. So they had brought cars out here and they had taken me from that side. And that was the time when this entire place was closed. I did a very pre-planned type of thing. This entire area, which is usually crowded, was cleansed by the guards, and nearly the local police, nearly about 30-40 had come there to give protection to this illegal act. This is a scene from inside the Mulakat. This is where we would sit here. Actually, that's the problem. My parents had come once or twice, and they used to regularly come, but eventually they should never see my face because there was a mesh. Then the lighting was bad. You just see a silhouette of the person and just hear his voice. So you get. I remember a scene once that I went and sat down there, and the other side there was a small child. He kept thinking that I'm his father, but actually it was someone else. So he kept talking to me like I'm his father because he could not see it. That's a very odd thing because For children to meet their parents in jail, it's more physical touch is more important. It's a weird rule they have. This is the system of what we call the round. It's once a week the entire prison officials used to come and they would everybody had to stand in a row, and there was this weird feudal culture that we'd have to remove our slippers and stand. And then when someone would come, everybody had to salute. System of meeting an officer is very odd. You have to remove your slippers, you have to go, and actually that entire system itself removes any type of democracy. At least if you want to, means what do you call a prisoner would get so scared to speak to someone. This is actually the center of the mini barrack is called the goal. So if there's any case of indiscipline, the trial would be called there, and they would be given a bashing. So it would be called either girana hai. Girana means they would literally hit that person till he falls down. And then secondly, that would be called, in the morning it used to be called bhajan. So sometimes you would hear, "Arey, subah bhajan chalu hai." That means someone is getting bashed up because something is in the night. Actually, the picture speaks for itself. Nothing to speak about. This is what actually the chaos. The violent trying to. It's when an alarm rings in jail, you don't have to. You have to leave everything and just run to your barrack. Because if by chance you're caught in the wrong barrack, if by chance you're caught somewhere else there, you will be just bashed up and you will be. And this is the very same time that officers target people who have spoken up against them. They'll be targeted and they'll be hit against.
But why would this happen?
This is the rule. This is the rule in jail that during the alarm is supposed to be alerted when there's a case of indiscipline or there's someone who is trying to escape. At that time, they are allowed to use minimum force. So, in the definition of minimum force, all this thing can happen. So, if the alarm is alerted, at that time you can bash someone up and say that that was the context in it.
So how often would this happen?
Depends. There's that thing. Sometimes it will happen twice or thrice in six months. Sometimes for 1 year, nothing has happened. I remember a case in Nagpur Jail where the superintendent actually planned an alarm. They got people locked up, and then they planned an alarm for the cases of the Malegaon 2006 cases, the 7/11 under trial cases, and they got them bashed up. The case went to the High Court, and the judge then found out that she was at fault. But these things means everybody knows that that's the true reason of the alarm. What we call it, Dana Command, which also cleans the toilets and the gutters and all that. They are usually either from Adivasis or from Dalits. So by cleaning the gutters, they occasionally find what you call bandicots. So they would get the bandicoats, cook them, and that would be the mutton for a group of 5 or 6 of them. And actually, the way they would, if they sense a bandicoot, the way 5 or 6 of them would hunt it down and get it was actually interesting scene. And because they are more comfortable with these places, they would roast it behind a toilet or something like that. They are generally convicts with murder cases or something like that. But the thing is, many of them would want to go also to do this job because it gives the most remissions. That is the number of days of your sentence get cut. I don't remember now. I think so. It's in 1 month. It is 12 or 13 days or something like that for this type of job. And the payment is also the highest. This is typical say of handi. Actually, handi is illegal in the jails, but it's something that people have learned to live with. You get food in jails. You get food at 4 o'clock in the evening, and on Sundays you get your dinner at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I remember in the beginning when we used to be served besan on Sunday. In the winter, the basin used to taste like ice cream at 8 o'clock in the night. So there's not a choice. People would form teams. Four of them would take some hair oil and make some chutney with it, achar with it, and then put in the sabji and make it hot. So they would, for fuel, they would try rotis. So they would get 3 rotis. So they would keep the rotis in the sun. After them, they burn really well. Take my experience. Has burned really well. It burns like a gas, and within about half an hour to 1 hour, you get a good hot meal. And sometimes you can combine your meal with some chuda and something like that. Tastes quite good. I think these are the ways. These are the ways people innovate to make life quite comfortable. I thought it's very tough to like I'm saying, to eat besan from afternoon at 8 o'clock in the night. It's really horrible. This picture is more, what do you call it? It's more philosophical in a sense. It is called a Lal Gate. This is the gate where people in all the dialogues they keep saying that ek din Lal Gate ke bahar jayenge. Lal Gate would mean the gate where we would get freedom. So it's always seen as a portal where you would get liberated after that. So I thought of it, it would be good. In terms of a picture, there's nothing to it. But in terms of the philosophy behind it, is much to it. And there would be just water sitting there. You would keep opening this gate. Beyond that, there's a bigger gate, obviously, with proper guards. But this would be known as a Lal Gate. This is the scene I actually thought of using it in my book. This is the stripe that is in the, what do you call it, the dress. The white dress, and they have a blue line. So I use it as a backdrop in my book. I think so there won't be